Night had fallen, and a heavy silence enveloped the village. Inside an old house, only the flickering light of a single candle illuminated the darkness of the room. Inside, a young woman named Emily was examining an old family heirloom, the watch of her late grandmother. She was alone in the house. The other family members had left briefly, promising to return before morning. The house had belonged to Emily's grandmother. After her grandmother's death a few years ago, the house had become a place of melancholy and solitude. Emily wanted to preserve the memories and pay her last respects. As the clock struck midnight, the candle's light began to waver. Emily heard a faint ticking noise coming from the old watch. She looked up and noticed her reflection in the dusty glass of the watch. However, her reflection appeared different, worried and frightened. Despite checking several times, the same unsettling image greeted her each time. When the candlelight suddenly went out, the room was plunged into complete darkness. Emily, feeling her way through the dark, tried to relight the candle. At that moment, a cold breeze seemed to sweep through the room. Whispering sounds began to rise from every corner of the old house, as if the walls themselves were speaking. Terrified, Emily found herself drawn to the watch's reflection once again. This time, a shadow appeared behind her in the reflection. The shadow slowly started to move around her. Her heart raced as she sensed the reflection was somehow connected to a presence in the real world. The shadows moved eerily around the room, adding to the fear that gripped her. As the shadow fully emerged behind Emily, it began to approach her slowly. Emily remembered an old, long mirror in the house. With trembling hands, she went to the mirror, hoping to get a better look at the shadows. Standing before the mirror, she saw the reflection of the shadows. But this time, when the mirror shattered, the entire house fell into silence. Emily's heart pounded in her chest. The broken mirror shards scattered across the floor, and the old furniture seemed to come to life. Emily felt as though everything in the house had turned into a nightmare. As the fragments of the mirror settled, Emily took a deep breath and tried to compose herself. At that moment, she noticed a piece of paper beside an old portrait of her grandmother. It read, "The shadow is a reflection of the past. You cannot escape it, only accept it." Reading the note, Emily sensed that something had changed in the house's darkness. The spirit of the past roamed within the house, and now Emily had to confront and accept both the house and the shadows of the past. Choosing to stay in the house with her grandmother's watch, Emily faced the darkness, finding her inner peace amidst the eerie reflections. Her eyes, no longer fleeing from the shadows, found solace in confronting them and discovering her own light within the darkness.